go ahead and bow in.
Bow to head instructor.
Bow to intermediate and beginner students. Students at home, welcome everybody. Start with a little bit of breathing. Place your hands on your lower abdomen, lips tightly sealed, teeth gently meshed together. Allow your eyes to close and begin focusing on deep, relaxed breathing. As you breathe in, feel your abdomen go out. As you breathe out, feel it come back in. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out slowly. Be relaxed. With each breath, begin to imagine a cascade of relaxation flowing down the body from the top of your head all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. Face and jaw relax. Neck and shoulders relax. Chest and upper back relax. Shoulders and arms feel heavy. Stomach and lower back relax. Feel the flow of relaxation through your waist and hips, through your thighs and the backs of your legs. Allow your knees to soften. Feel your calf muscles relax. Your ankles relax. And the bottoms of your feet relax. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out slowly. Be relaxed. The next time that you breathe out, open your eyes and lower your hands, and we'll begin our 10 foundational postures, starting with the first one, embracing horse. Separate the feet shoulder width apart, turn the toes in slightly so the outside feet edges of the feet are parallel. Sit back, try not to put your hips and knees forward, so you sit back as you bend the knees, circle the arms back, circle the arms forward. Continue focusing on deep, relaxed breathing. straighten the legs, lower the hands. And moving on to posture number 2, ride the wild horse. And remember, you're getting back into it after the quarantine times. Listen to your body. Try not to overdo it. Slow and steady wins the race rather than I will get all the way to the floor right now. So if you do that, sometimes you might end up on the floor and not be able to get back up. Speaking from my own experience. So middle stance. Bring the feet a little bit closer together. Toes still pointing inward a little bit. And then take that second to check in with the alignment. Like my waist is loose and I've got the idea of my tuck. My head's suspended, my shoulders are down. And if you need to take more breaths, take them. And begin by inhale. Slowly arms up. Exhale. Shift the weight to the heels and sink. Think about relaxing more than squatting or bending. Finish your exhale. Push with the legs as you inhale. And exhale. Very nice. One more just like that. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Good. Inhale. Make the inhale just as slow and relaxed as the exhale. And exhale. Arms down. Okay. Small stance. Bring the feet closer together. If you're able, you can have your toes touching. If you need a little more space, that's okay too. Same movement. Inhale. Exhale. Go down only as far as you can without your feet moving. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Wait for me. Exhale. Wide stance, which is basically back to shoulder width. And again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, push with the legs slowly, come back up. Keep the arms at the top, don't let them drop. And then exhale, slowly bring them down to your side. Good, last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very good. All right, posture number 3, playing guitar. Separate the feet shoulder width apart. Let's begin turning the right toes out at a wide angle, about 60 degrees. Shift the weight into that knee. Don't let it collapse in. Keep it rounded out. Circle the arms back, circle the arms forward, set the left heel down. Stand. Right hand will be by left elbow. And release, shake it out. And let's do the other side. Left toes out at a wide angle. Shift into the left leg, circle the arms back, circle the arms forward, send the right heel down. Good correction. And then the only other thing, you're a little bit pulled into this, just shift the whole, not turn, the whole weight more towards the floor. So, mirror this, so I see a little of this. Bring it up to here. Yes, there. And release, shake it out. So I've said it several times, but I will periodically say it again. So for your black sash test, which is quite a ways off for a lot of you and closer than you might think for others, typically when you go through the neck hung, it's going to be a 15 to 20 minute hold on a bracing horse. So as you're able, if you can just kind of give yourself that time to just sort of hang out in that posture and be friends with it, that will serve you well. But then don't forget, on that test, you're also going to have to hold playing guitar for 3 to 5 minutes. So each leg. I know, it's like, oh. But, you know, everyone emphasizes, if you hear other students that have gone through the black sash test, they emphasize the 20-minute embracing horse. Like, yes. And yet what's going to make the thighs scream a little more is when you get to playing guitar after that 15 or 20-minute embracing horse. So just, again, learn to make friends with the discomfort. You know, you'll get through it. Everyone does. All you have to do is your best. But just, you know, have that kind of in your mindset so that you don't freak out when it comes time for that. Because if you can keep your stress down on that test day, that's a huge part of the bound just in and of itself, is to not panic. Like, oh, ah. So just, you know, it's going to be fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, your thigh, it will let you know that you're using it. Okay, posture number 4, compass. Separate the feet shoulder width apart, or a little bit wider, in this case if you'd like, but same alignment, toes turned in, head suspended, and begin by reaching up, but keep the shoulders down. Don't let them come up, don't let them squinch your neck up. And begin by leaning with gravity to the left. Don't let this arm disconnect and fall down. Try not to rotate front or back, keep connected. Keep your tuck so that your low back doesn't get pinched. And roll down over the left. Palms facing the floor, fingers pointing towards each other. Try to straighten your legs if you're able, not locked out, but keep them pretty straight. Relax neck. And from here, shift the weight more to the heels as you straighten the back and reach out ahead. Breathe normally and softly. Don't hold your breath. It gets really easy to hold your breath here. And down over the right. And roll up and back. Stretch the whole front of the body. Lift through the chest. Keep the knees rounded out. And roll out. And back up. And other side. To the right. Nice. Remember, it's not gravity and relaxation, not forcing yourself into the position. And roll down with the right foot, palms facing the floor, fingers pointing towards each other. Very good. Keep that rounded, connected idea as you shift the weight to the heels and reach forward, stretching through the fingers, trying to flatten your back. Excellent, Mr. Hogan. Excellent, Ms. Payne. Good, Mr. Barrett. Very good, Mr. Hawkins. Everyone's killing it today. Very good. Good. Couple deep breaths. And down over the left. And roll up and back. Keep that tuck so you don't pinch your low back. Good. Very good. Roll out and come back up. Nicely done. Okay, release. I see really good understanding of protecting the low back there. If I keep my tuck as I do this, I don't feel any kind of discomfort or pinch there, versus if I don't have my tuck and I do this, I'm doing an arch, a bend with my low back, which is not, that's a thing, but that's not this thing. So, and I saw really good form on that, so nice job. All right, posture number 5, double dragon, sleep from C, feet shoulder width apart. Let us start with the right toes at 45-degree angle. Step forward into a short walking lunge into your push position. And fold down for that stretch, so you're pushing out on the bent knee, pulling forward on the straight leg. And remember, the point of this one is to try to keep our pelvis square towards the front of where you are and level like a tabletop. So we're not trying to have a twist or a tilt. And form a circle with the hands. We're going to keep our hips facing forward. Push off with the back leg as you come up and inhale. And exhale, fold down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, last one. Inhale. Good. Release, switch feet. So, shoulder width apart, left toes out, step forward into that walking lunge to push, and fold down for that stretch. Form a circle with your hands. And inhale, up. Exhale, down. 2, up. And down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And release. Shake it out. All right, posture number 6, rhinoceros gazes at the moon. Feet shoulder width apart, or a little bit wider in this case, but same thing. Again, toes turned in. Basically, it's embracing horse lower half of the body and pretty close to embracing horse upper body, but one hand will be on top. So we're going to keep our hips and our knees and our feet here. We're not going to let swivel knees happen as best we're able. We're going to sit back, circle the arms back and around. Let's have the left hand on top. So we're going to rotate from the waist and above while keeping hips and below still. And begin by rotating to the left, looking up underneath your arm, towards your fingers. Relax neck, and back to center. This time right hand will be on top. Other side. Center. Other hand on top. And begin, rotate. And center. Right. You're going to sit back a little more, then you'll be able to rotate and bend. There you go. Good. Good. And center. Release. Okay. Number 7, ride the tiger. Anybody want to take a gander at what the most important part of ride the tiger is?
Tuck.
Tuck. That is correct. Tuck. Do not be seduced by the lure of going as long and as wide as you can, which is fabulous and it will come with time. But rather than just get into a split stretch, we're trying to relax this hip crease here. So tuck above all else, which means I have to keep my feet and my knees springy. So let's start going to the right, feet together, crouch, get that tuck. And begin by stepping out incrementally. Keep the knees rounded out. And when you get to as far as you're able, sink in the middle and turn towards the front. And push off. Other side. And go. And push off. Other side. Step out. Little move this way with the hips, shoulders that way. And then sit. And push off. Last one. And step out. When you get to your end position, we hold that usually about 8 to 12 seconds. And push up. Shake it out. All right. Number 8, Phoenix spreads wings. Bring your feet closer together with maybe about 4 or 5 inches between the two. But same thing, toes turned in a little. Get the knees bent, head suspended, and begin by rocking and let arms come up, down, and around. hit the tiger. Start going to the right. Left toe will be straight ahead. Right toe, remember we're going to point it at a 45-degree angle, step mostly sideways, a little bit ahead. And we're going to sink, stay on this foot as we shoot the right leg out, shift to the right, sit back. This is facing outward, right by your temple, left in front of your chest. And push off. Again. Push off. Other side. Go ahead. Push off. Last one. Go ahead. This foot will be ahead, so the heel will be on line with your toe. There you go. Yes. And push off. Release. So before we do owl turns head, just a quick refresher on what hit the tiger feet is. You will hear it, intermediate advanced students, you hear it a bunch, right? Hit the tiger feet. What is hit the tiger feet? It comes from this posture. And hit the tiger feet basically means that, say I'm on the edge of this mat here, the toes of my back foot will be on a line with the heel of my front foot. And usually it's more of a lateral type foot placement. So double dragons is shoulder width out in front. Hit the tiger is toe on line with the heel, more of an oblique type posture. So anyway, that's just where that comes from. You will hear it and get many, many chances to practice it. Owl turns head. Separate feet shoulder width apart. Your legs are not done yet. They're not off the block, but soon. Get your tuck, hands on the hips, head suspended. And rotate slowly to the left. Try not to let your chin jut out. And center. Left. To the right. Center. Left. Center. And right. Center. Release, straighten the legs, lower the hands, circle the arms up, inhale. Then press the palms down to exhale. All right, that is the end of our basic training. Any last questions before we bow out? All right, good work, everybody. We follow the 5 hearts: faith, respect, perseverance, patience, and humility. Bow to intermediate, beginner, and advanced students at home. Basic training is dismissed. Good job, everybody. If you're standing with the last class training, get a drink, come back out, and we will find a posture and work on it. I almost want to go that way. Okay. Good to see you.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Considering my head.
Cease to get amazed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, it's good. It's still amazing. would run before I came. I would come in for Nikon, soak my entire uniform with the shirt on. When I first started.
If I'm not, then I know I'm not doing something.
Yeah. Like I literally couldn't take my shirt, my uniform off of myself.
I used to play hockey as a goaltender. I won't be able to bring my uniform out and stuff like that. It was disgusting. I always had an extra jersey because I could get back-to-back games, so I could at least have something to play on when I started.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter. It didn't matter if I was playing ice hockey, street hockey, roller hockey. I did it. Even ice hockey. I would sweat up a storm, and I'd freeze. It's sweating and then you stop and wait, and the chills kick in.
Yeah.
And that's why you wear 2 sets of pants.
All right, we have gone through all 10, so is there a burning question or desire to look at a specific posture?
I
Yes,
have a
sir.
question about double dragons.
Uh-huh.
Is your face supposed to be down or is it supposed to be?
Oh, anybody take a gander at that? Should your face be down or should your face be up?
Down.
Why?
I don't know why.
Looks like it's suspended.
Yes. So yes, down, so that I'm not doing this, which ruins my head suspended. So that was an easy
It
answer.
didn't feel right because I tried it both ways. I just. didn't
Right,
get it.
so,
But I
yeah.
don't have my foot.
I'm here, this, I would lose my head suspended completely, so I'm here to up, down. So, now I'm not down, like I'm not there, but yeah, good question. Any other posture
So
questions?
when
Yes,
you're,
uh-huh.
when you're here,
Ooh, we're doing double dragon seated, this is good, uh-huh.
So when you say push the back leg, it's
Correct.
like a little, like this knee has to bend to get into the bend first.
A little bit,
Right?
yes, because even though you're straight, it shouldn't be locked out.
It's not locked out, but it still has a, you notice
You
the
have
bend
to-
before you feel the pressure under that back foot.
I would say for me, my knee is a little bit softer, so that I don't have to do that. So my knee, it's straight, but it's got a little bit of bend, so it just naturally comes, I don't have to like here, I would have to bend it, but.
I'm just saying, I feel something. I just feel, it's not
Well,
a strain or.
I was trying to answer your question.
Oh, sorry.
So if you're feeling something, then yes, you need to bend it, but I'm saying that, just be mindful that you're not locking it out, because then you definitely have to do that. So you might be, I'm just saying, you might be straightening it a little too tiny bit much, or it may just be you. So, like Kung Fu, even straight, it's not straight, it's a little bit here, so that if something pushed on me, it's super strong, but I haven't done this where I have to, and it's the same principle with the knee. So, straight but not straight, bent but not bent. So, anyway, that wasn't a criticism, I just was like, well, I'm trying to help you. If you're feeling something, definitely fix it. Are we kind of set on double dragons equal C, or is there another posture? Double dragons it is. Everybody show me some double dragons. Unhappiness.
Working on
This is very good. We have a little bit of a diagonal. So as you're going back, your hips are going this way a little bit.
It just needed to be pressed, said reconnect, I pressed reconnect.
In this posture, I don't remember, are we trying to keep the back level, or is it a curve in this one?
Most of them level.
That's good.
If I say before you do your next story, keep that right, especially if she just 5 of them.
get here. Square. There you go. Good.
It's all right.
That looks very good. Yes?
Feels fine. Feels different than
It
before.
feels wrong, but is it right?
I asked.
That's a lot of double dragon Z's, so go ahead and take a break. Back up. So, one of the things that will, and everyone's looks very, very, very good. One of the things that I was pretty slow to check in with for myself is that this really is about substantial and insubstantial, even though it's about coming up and down. And so the movement is generated by the feet. And believe it or not, for me, because your results may vary, this is not like go Google it and it's going to say this. This is a Natalie's personal way of dealing with double dragons. Is let's see, scroll down. And Mr. Barrett asked, is it okay to make little micro corrections? Absolutely, because notice, I thought I had my feet where I wanted them, but then as I'm going down, it doesn't feel right. So I'm making little corrections so that I can get the way I want to as best I'm able. And then when I'm here, rather than just thinking come up, I'm pushing a little bit with the back leg. And that is pushing me up. So it's, I don't know if you can see it, but hopefully the leverage coming here is what comes out in the hands. And then same thing, this foot pushes off, and it's not shifting me back so much as, watch what happens to my hips. They fold back. I mean, I shift a little bit. My legs are definitely changing. This one's straightening, this one's bending, but I'm not trying to cover much ground. So I push off to allow the fold, and as I go down, I'm checking in, like, do I feel level, straight, tilt in my pelvis. Then I get here, I push with this leg to help inflate, come back up, push with this one, transfer the weight to the back foot, to come back down. See, a little different, I mean, it may not look different, but you understand the wiring there versus I'm down, then I'm up, then I'm down, then I'm up. Like, I'm really not feeling much happening with this part of my body. It's all with the legs.
What a concept.
What? It does, and it helped me stay connected through it. It helped my pelvis kind of have more of a roadmap. Yes, ma'am.
So once you're down, you don't have to keep going further.
No, you don't want to. You don't want to.
Okay.
There's a very easy misconception that your hips travel front to back a lot. They really don't. It's a little bit of a movement. It's a folding and an unfolding. So it's not a big geographical shift from the hips to the front to the back. It's just a little bit. You're kind of folding and unfolding around it. Huh? Very good.
Probably need to keep it low.
Yes, yes. Ting. Better, worse,
Better.
different?
Is CKH's book, that all there is to NACOM?
How do you mean?
Is there anything else? Is there any more postures or advanced stuff?
I don't know the answer to that. I know he created it and he made that book, so I think those are his 10 postures. I mean, it's a subset of Qigong, so obviously there's thousands and thousands and thousands of Qigong sets and poses. These specifically were designed to help you and Tai Chi practitioners create the alignment for Tai Chi, but all that's Mr. Gordon.
What does NACOM mean?
Internal work. So Kung Fu is work, and Neikong is the internal work. So even though the movements are small, you typically get hot doing them. You warm up, and so it's internal work. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and do our life skill. Path of self-mastery requires a courageous heart. A courageous heart shows strength in the face of fear. Path of self-mastery requires a courageous heart. A courageous heart shows strength in the face of fear. Path of self-mastery requires a courageous heart. A courageous heart shows strength in the face of fear. About to intermediate, advanced, intermediate, students at home, lifestyle training assistants, everybody. If you are staying for master's path, get a drink, check it out, and we'll do an application or so. Good job.
You got it.
I was hoping that you,
John?
I was hoping I could
Okay.
get in.
Did you hit some of these figure outs?
Yeah, I was just, not really more obviously, I was hoping.
But not
you
quite.
would-
We're not quite.
Replace like black or something. No, I can give me 5 squares.
I mean, the whole.
Starts as jiu-jitsu today, I'm gonna start with it.
Yeah. Rolling, most important, falling, very important. And everything else comes out of that. It's like when I started to learn how to juggle, first thing they told you was throw it up and let it fall. Get used to it. Jiu-jitsu, get used to falling. Get used to getting back up. That's the first step.
Trying out the aces over there, the new one on my own.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, yeah,
But if they're halfway decent, you're gonna learn a lot. It's a great, it's great to accompany anything else you learn. It's like anything else, it's not an all, but it's really not. They all complement each other.
does anyone have a, affirmation today?
I don't care. Anything's fine.
I would like, well, unless you have something
Okay.
planned, I would like to revisit that high horse. This is
Excellent.
something I heard last night from Mr. Pig.
Ooh, tell me about it.
Well, he just, I'm sure you said the same thing, but he said when Master Gohring was practicing, and he said, once you get here, it's just it's like, you're not even, it's like a feather almost.
That's correct.
Okay, because when I was doing it, I was putting a little more force to it. And, what he told me was, that you're just getting out of the way of the punch, so you just guide that punch down, barely touch.
Correct.
You're just using that line. You just-
Yes, so it's, let's all do Pat High Horse for just a second. So get from single whip. And here's that part. So I'm gonna shift up, this comes down, and then if I don't turn my waist, I have to pull it to the side, but I turn my waist. And that's the getting out of the way of the punch. So again, we're step up, catch, we don't catch, but make contact, shift back, turn the waist. Mhm. So again, here, contact, turn the waist to get out of the way. So the way Tai Chi applications are tactically is wired is you trick your opponent's nervous system in thinking they make contact with something. And so all you have to do is make contact, and then by your moving out of the way, they feel like they've got contact and they're doing something, but you have switched out of the way, guided them around you, and then they don't tune in to this, and it strikes them here. So Tai Chi is a whole lot of work smarter, not harder, basically, which obviously takes a lot of practice, because you want to just like, oh, get out of my way, like so, but it's that slip, yeah, exactly what he said, the line. All right, you want to practice? You mind being in a group of 3 where I can coach?
It's fine.
All right, take turns.
And it was the right punch.
It is,
Right button, you know, left punch.
it's a left punch.
Left punch, okay.
And remember to protect your neck.
All right, his neck. Okay, I know.
Who's,
No, it is a right punch.
Yeah.
It's a right punch, because it's open. It's
Well, I can see it working for left as well.
so this opens me into it. It's harder to strike that
So it
here.
comes, so it's just down here?
Well, you can go a little lower even. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just roughly with your stash. Yep. And the other key component is to really be on that back leg, because that helps you sit back as you turn your waist. If I'm neutral, this foot doesn't really move so much as it just releases. Yeah, like, so you can kind of just sit back into that and release the heel. The feet are moving when you're coming from
So that quick
this.
little slide is okay?
That's okay, but you don't have to pick it up and actually put it in front. Yes. Uh-huh.
It's good enough.
So it's all waist, like, more than this, think, turn that way, yes, what you do there is the next one. So, yeah, try it a couple more times, and then we'll switch partners, but think waist more than, yes. Switch.
So who's?
I'll throw punch.
You took those?
I'll throw punch. I learned a lot from receiving.
Huh? No.
Uh-huh. There you go. And turn the waist, yes.
Forgot about the loop.
I still feel,
Keep your hand there.
I still feel a really good impact.
And it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
And this one, again, if you're starting in neutral, you're gonna feel less shift. But what I think in those terms is I sit back, so that my waist can turn, so I think just sit. Yeah. Yes.
Keep pulling you too far in. But you said
See?
Well, I'm having trouble getting you into my center when you're coming in, that's all it is.
Let me back
Come
you.
in,
Oh, yeah, there, if you,
I'm ending up with it on here. Yeah, well, right.
oh, yeah, I'm aiming straight for the zipper. And then don't be afraid to straighten that out, arm out that way. Yes. Yeah, there you go.
I'm going through.
Space or zipper, but just, you don't wanna, yeah, it's easy to have nice booties when they, you know.
I'm not.
No, I'm not a nice. There.
Good.
That was a good one. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so what I'd like to do, everybody can have a bag now. Let's practice a little bit of kind of handling the bag. You're probably gonna be closer than you think you need to be. And possibly, we'll just have to figure it out, but, so you're here and then, it's not gonna be as big a movement, but it's, instead of like using the arm, I want you to sit back and turn over your waist. bag, and this one's gonna go out, so it's like just, that's the split. So, to the sash, straight up. And that will clean up some of the extra circles, so it's, and where that is in the form, if you watch, that picks up here. So, this is kind of the get ready, and then it's, so try a couple more minutes or a minute or two on the bag, and just think about that there in front, and then one back, one front. And even if you don't do the feet right, I'm still turning my waist, even if my feet stay neutral. Yes. Yes. Very good.
Palm energy or whatever? Or is it just
This is
splitting?
still split.
Splitting, right, okay.
In case you can't see what's happening at the bags, the two things that I've had them working on is turning from the waist. So from the bag, they're pretty close, thinking about sitting back, turning this waist. So the power isn't arms, the power is sitting back, turning this waist. And then the next thing, to clean up the arms, because sometimes extra circles start to happen and you don't really have time for that. So I've started them here, and then think of this hand, here goes to your sash, and this hand will go out. So here, 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 and it's all by the waist. And think about where that comes back from the form, single whip. Notice what happens, it's right here. I sit back onto this foot and I switch the hands, here. So, wind up, here. So, those are a couple things that you can practice on your own, is turning that waist to get the precision and the splitting energy for Pat High Horse. All right. Team? All right, any questions? Does that help a little bit with Pat High Horse?
It is.
And if ever you have, you need, it's not really time to go and practice, like, what is Tai Chi contact, like that barely touching. I'm not grabbing this, this feels very tactile and easy to just drape your hand here, and it's listening. We haven't done pushing for a really long time, but it's about listening, so I'm not trying to control this. I'm just here, so obviously this is not going to move on me, but by just making contact, I'm learning to listen with this hand for any subtle, like, are they trying something? Are they going to try to deflect or elbow? And that gives me information. How soft are they? How rigid are they? So if that's the kind of, just the amount that it would take to contact over this is when we say the hooking or whatever, that's kind of what we're learning to cultivate. So whenever you want to practice that, you can just come and politely kind of contact Mr. Wooden here. But it's, it's not a rigid grip. All righty. Good work. Let's go ahead and bow out.
Yes, ma'am.